If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. We're doing a little special episode before our normally scheduled discussion tonight all about the Fires of Heaven. We're getting together a little early to talk about the news. Yes, thanks to Prime Video for dropping a little special few images, and actually really high resolution images, so we get to zoom in a lot and pick up those apart and theorize about them. And talk also about the latest news dropped by WoTSeries. We'll do a little New York Comic-Con prep this Friday, and then we'll say goodbye and have you meet us back at 9 p.m. tonight for another episode. Okay, without further ado then, let me welcome my wonderful guests for this evening. Welcome to the Dusty Wheel, everyone. Joe from Talker Onrad, Leisa Sedai, or Ruth as we know her, and of course, Malkier's King. Thank you all for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So, Ruth, this is your first time here at the Dusty Wheel, so welcome. Welcome. Thanks for jumping in and being part of this. Really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I want to get your opinion on this. Let's jump to the first piece of news here for everyone. This one came out today. Well, that's not it right there. We'll go find the Wheel of Time here. There, thankfully, I go to their, Prime Video. Sorry, we'll check them out. Good old Prime Video decided to drop a little news on us here. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, these images, this one of Lan got a lot of attention. We're going to dig into that here shortly. Obviously, Rand and Egwene, people freaked out about this one. And just another shot of Moiraine and what some refer to as those nice shoulder pads. And actually, this is the highest resolution image we've ever had of this part of her costume. So we'll certainly take a look at that. It looks pretty amazing. So, okay, Ruth, of these three images, which one was your favorite?
Definitely the Rand and Egwene one.
Rand and Egwene? Okay, why don't let's jump in and talk about this one. Like I said, what is it that you liked so much about this image?
I mean, obviously we know what happens in the books, but just the expression that they have on their faces, a picture says 1,000 words, and you look at that picture and you can tell so much of what's going on there. So I love it. It's just the emotion just happening in that picture. It's beautiful.
Look at that horse, by the way.
I know. Gorgeous horse. Who cares about Moiraine and Egwene,
I know.
right?
Let's just zoom into this horse. Check this out. I love that they gave us high resolution images. Look at that.
That
freaking
is
image.
that is blue steel right there.
Oh, that's
those,
Archie.
Look at those eyes right there. That is what a beautiful horse. Okay, we'll go back to Rand and Egwene here. So yeah, this a lot of people mentioned that they hated on Wheel of Time for giving them a reason to basically stand this couple, putting this couple together. This is kind of a much maligned couple in the books, as far as they're lacking maybe some chemistry as it's written. So I want to ask you, where do you think this is at? Okay, so I mean, that for those of you who are watching in chat, on social media, and for the three of you, I want to hear your first theory. Maybe go to you first, Joe. When do you think this is at in season 1?
Oh, I think it's hard to say. This looks like it might be the Waygate area, just looking at the field.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go back and check like the costuming to see if it's the same costumes that they're wearing at the end of that trailer when they're riding up to the Waygate, and it's from a distance. But it does look similar. When I first looked at it, I thought it was probably like something early on. But this could be the two of them reuniting, right? Because aren't in the Waygate scene, right? There's some group that's already there, and then another group riding up. And I don't remember off the top of my head who's in what group, but this could be the two of them reuniting. And I love this picture. The chemistry is like palpable, and it's like you said, you don't really get that in the books. And I think it's going to be awesome if they really play this up into the second season before they, spoiler alert, don't wind up together. But yeah, I love this.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of comments. Yeah, I love the shot. There's a lot of comments about Egwene's ring, where this is at. I want to remind everybody, we'll call this a full spoiler show, but we're not going to really try to spoil many things in the books, but we might talk about this relationship. So you might hear some things about Rand and Egwene, their relationship, why this image means something. We're not going to go well into the end of the book here and spoil those things, but there will be some spoilers. We're probably going to try to stay as much into the show as possible. And so what you were saying was that you maybe think that this is related to this shot that we get from the trailer. Yeah, this is an interesting idea. Maybe it's just like a promo shot.
Yeah, because this is Rand. I think that's Rand and Nynaeve and Lan and Mat, right? So this could be this could be the first time Rand and Egwene are seeing each other since Shadow Logoth. In theory, it could be.
Yeah, like having her right back there. This is the first time they see each other. That shot, you could say maybe it's taking it from away from the the Waygate here. I love that theory. Great pickup there, Matt. Matt, do you agree with that one? Do you like this idea that shot of Egwene and Rand is actually kind of related to their kind of reunion, if you will, at this moment?
Yes, I hadn't thought about it much, but I do agree that it does seem like it's from the Waygate scene.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because people were talking about maybe their relationship ends before they, separate initially. And this does, look like, and maybe even just looking at Madeline Madden's face here, if we zoom in, because we can look at that horse.
On the horse.
The friggin' horse is amazing.
Beautiful face.
Yeah, Madeline does look. I'm just looking at her face here. She looked really worried. Like that looks like a worried, happy to see you kind of face. And so again, this might just be a promo shot, but it works really well in the actual show itself, as far as that this happens to be something really from the show or a scene that they were trying to shoot. Now, people were talking about this ring again. Thank you, Prime Video. Look at that. That's as close as we can get, everybody. I don't know that Madeline Madden wanted us that close. Like, look at his ear. Like, there's. That's interesting. You are seeing a lot of dirt on Rand's face here, right? If we're getting this close, you do see a lot of dirt on his face
and his hands too. His. I guess when you can look at it. He's
pretty young. Maybe he just forgot to shave.
But yeah, that ring. I'm seeing some questions here. Maybe this is the accepted ring. Yeah, look at that. That is a really nice shot of this. What do you think, Ruth? Do you think that is likely what we're seeing here?
Could that be? I know we talked about it before with that cast, the whole cast picture, where Nynaeve was also wearing a ring. So could that be maybe like a woman's circle ring instead?
Yeah, it could be. I didn't think it looked. We will zoom in. to another image that we have. That's basically, if you're here and you're watching this, we're going to be zooming in to every image. This is the this is not a really high resolution. That looks almost like a longer ring that you see Nynaeve have there. It doesn't look, again, I'm saying it doesn't look. We're staring at a very blurry image, but I think it was something that was a little bit longer on her finger versus what we see in that other image. I'm seeing a lot of people say maybe they're the same. Dana just said just a ring.
Well, but in Innkeeper, those 3 pixels could indicate that the wisdom has a larger ring than other members of the women's circle.
Yes, that's that's true, and that's what I'm saying. If you look at this image that we're looking at here, that's not necessarily, it doesn't look like what we see on Nynaeve's hand. So. But by the way, we're not convincing a lot of people. I can tell that. Wild Gardenia in chat says the ring is turned. It's the same. A lot of people think the same. Fine. We will pull it because that's what we do around here, everybody. So is this the same ring Egwene is wearing? What are we going to say this in? Do we have a shot of her wearing a ring in Imsfield? We got to go back to the trailer and take a look. Let me do that first before we throw this poll in here. Do we see a ring early on when she comes into the
Wine spring?
Yeah, when she comes in the wine spring here, so let's take a look at that. Well, who doesn't like to see this intro scene? Enjoy this while we're sitting here waiting. Oh, she's kind of hiding her hand there, so you don't see it. So
what about when she gets pushed off the cliff?
No. What about her and Rand? The post-coitus.
Oh, yes. We can. So this one that's fun. We'll move on from this. Was there something else in this particular one with a Rand and Egwene that you thought was of interest, Joe, that you think it's worth kind of highlighting while we look for that scene that you were talking about?
What's that bag that Rand's carrying? What's in his bag?
What's in his bag? Yeah. Okay. So let's ask that question. That's a good one. But I'll get to the other scene you're talking about. Let's see if no, I don't see anything here either. You don't see anything on her fingers there. So no, sorry. Maybe I'm forgetting. Let me go back to the, I'm looking in chat. I like people are saying it's a mood ring.
It does look like a mood ring. I agree with that.
I love it. Okay.
Could he be holding on to Tom's, not flute now, but could he still be holding on to the instrument that he's, carrying for him?
Yeah,
could that be a thing?
Let's look at the horse again.
Look at those eyes.
I did note the absence of boots. Thanks a lot, Prime Video. Thank you very much. No boots in these pictures, anyone? If you were,
I find that highly suspicious.
I do too. Yeah, that bag. I can't remember if we're seeing. I'm seeing people say that maybe he's carrying Tom's guitar. Yeah, so
might be kind of big for that.
You see his bow right here. You see what probably are some arrows back there, and that bag. Watch Shadow Killer saying harp. Yeah, he happens to have a harp. That's it. I love it. Yeah, that's yeah, go ahead.
Was Rand wearing that coat when they were riding up towards the Waygate?
He is. He is wearing that coat on the Waygate.
So he was
shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you do see that. Yeah, you can tell that he's.
Okay,
yeah,
you do see that
tell
there.
That he's wearing
okay.
that. So he is. You can see the bow. I don't know that you can. It's zooming into this video is harder, so I don't know if we can see the bag here.
Nynaeve's got one too.
Nynaeve has a bag?
Yeah, on that.
On her
right
back there. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. You're
right.
Yeah,
you can see his bag.
Yeah, you do see that bag that he's carrying too. Yeah, that's true.
In chat, even Hopwell said that it's Rand's laptop and chargers.
I think you are right that is probably exactly where this image is coming. Okay, so let's move on from this one. We only got another probably 25 minutes here. We could probably stare at this image and compare it to death. Let's jump to the second image. This is the one that a lot of people, including myself, had a lot of fun with today. So why don't we jump? I think it's right there. Yes. So there are a couple notes here, everyone. why don't we start not with the main item here? If you notice off to the left of this image, and let me zoom out, you see this red tent. At first, honestly, I thought that was a production tent. But then, Joe, you mentioned this could be the Red Aja because if you look here, everyone, let's zoom in really close. Behind Lan's arm, you see what looks like is some likely kind of metal. I don't know. The shape right here, I think, is significant because if you remember in the trailer, and of course, by the way, everyone, this is going to take me. I'm going to be annoyed because to find this in the trailer is going to take a moment. But it's the this is when the Alana shot with the arrows. This is right here. Okay, here we go, everybody. There it is.
Oh.
So if you'll notice,
Right there.
off here to the right, your far right above the horses, you see that kind of metallic, I don't know, that's probably maybe a fire pit of some sort.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a fire, maybe that holds weapons. So now if you look at that kind of, that item, and then you see what's behind Lan here, it seems like we can kind of peg this image. Now, if you take into account that maybe that's the Red Aja tent, that's maybe a fire pit of some sort that they carry with them. Yeah, so this is likely a shot of Lan there. There we go, Brazier. Thank you, Glenn. This is likely a shot of them, in that same kind of moment that we see here, or around this time. So at some encampment. So yeah, anyone disagree with that? I feel like we've kind of succinctly. Now it could not be there. It could be like they're traveling, so it could be anywhere. But at least we see it there twice. So.
I agree with you, Matt, because I said before, like when we saw the thing, you said red tent, and I remembered the audition scripts that we heard about, and there was a scene with a Leona, which we believe is Leandrin, and she said something, the red tent is open to all women, feel free to join us for dinner.
Yeah.
So that made me think of that too. So I think you're 100% correct that it's the same area as the trailer. It's the Logain, I guess, in that area.
I like the comment
It's not
here,
invited for dinner,
meaning Lan is smiling at Nynaeve here.
Yeah, let's talk about, this is too much.
Okay.
This is too much smiling. He shouldn't be smiling so much.
That's I don't know. That's a
smile.
Okay. So this is I think this is a fun one to go to next here, everybody. This is what looked like something we could read. A bunch of us, including Malkier's King here, decided to figure out what this was. Thank you for everyone who sent the basically the symbols and what they meant in the old tongue. Yes, this was interpreted. Let me show you what that interpretation ended up being. I'll show you an image of it right here. This is a fun image too. We flipped over the actual sword. You had to read it this way, and it's missing. I put the H and E here. We'll talk about why I did that, but it's missing some of the first word or two. But do you want to say what this, how to pronounce this, Malkier's King, as I show everybody? How would you pronounce that phrase that you think that it says here?
Probably quite poorly.
Go for it. You can try it.
I need it in front of me. One second.
Gotcha. This is like I'll show you. Yeah. So that first word, is it like calcinier or something?
Kalichnie no domashito Egomar Daishan.
And yeah, Elgamar Daishan, which translates, I think I opened this up in a tweet, but let me see if, do you want to explain what that translation was that you came up with, Malkier's King? For that?
Yeah, so it was from a phrase that at first I didn't remember this. I knew that it was familiar and I couldn't quite place it. And then I did a quick search, and when the gang goes to Faldara and they meet with Lord Egomar, he welcomes Moiraine, and Moiraine says, Ninte Kalichnia Domashito no Domashito Egomar Daishan, which translates into "Your welcome warms me, Egomar Daishan."
Yep, this quote
like
right
that.
here, Moiraine, this is in the Eye of the World, and so yeah, you picked this out, that it says basically the translation, "Your welcome warms me, Lord Algamar." Does that make any sense as to why that would be on a sword, though? I mean, Ruth,
No.
why do you think why would that phrase be on the sword? Do you have any theories about that?
have no idea why that would be on a sword.
That's an Easter egg. That's it. I think that's all it is. It's just for the book fans, the hardcore fans. That's all I can think of. It doesn't make any sense.
The only ones that would look at every letter of the whole tongue and try to figure it out is us. But
The only thing that would have made that better is if it said, "Got you again, Matt, Innkeeper Matt," or something like that.
Yeah,
Well,
the only
go
reason
for
they
it.
would put it on there is because they know that people like us would blow it up and translate it.
Well, that's a lame theory. We can't just stick with that. That's not good. So let's try to stick with an in-world theory. Okay, so I do want to point out that, you know, this could be. Could this also potentially not be? I mean, we have to assume this is Lan's sword. I guess it looks like the ones on his back that he has, and so maybe that is the only explanation. Welcome is one of them. It also could be this other word here in the old tongue. It could be majesty, but I don't know how you would translate that. Again, I don't speak the old tongue. And then this Daishan title for Lan literally died. How do you ever pronounce this? Diademed, Battle Lord. This could be just, you know, symbolic of a change they've made, couldn't it? Like where they've tried to maybe make a more personal connection between Lan and Lord Agomar here, and so maybe maybe they're signaling, I guess, symbolically that they are changing the sword and where it came from. And so it's not necessarily the sword we have in the books. It is a sword that was given to Lan as a gift, potentially. Well, you know, as in basically kind of symbolically saying he's one of us. So that's the best translation I come up with. Did anyone else have any better theories? Those you're watching in chat, it is a great Easter egg, but I don't know that there's any better thing than that. Other than I think it could be that we have Rafe here, kind of switching things up to try to tell a little bit different story about that relationship, or create a relationship or a deeper relationship than maybe we have in the books. What do you think about that, Malkier King?
Well, the only thing I know for sure is that it is not the ancestral sword of Malkier kings.
Yes. Well, or is it? And it's just an Easter egg, right? So, and that's where do you think that they're actually making that change, or do you think they're actually not? They didn't make that change.
You mean is it in world, is it his father's sword, and they just put that on there for us fans? Yes,
exactly. Do you think that's what's happening? I don't know. Joe, do you agree with
that?
I
hate to disappoint you, but I think the answer is yes.
That is a disappointment. Yeah, this is weird. I think it's just, I hope it's just an Easter egg for us. They just put it there just for us. The one thing I noticed about that sword is that it looks kind of worn, like the blade, and even you just zoomed in and you saw the edge of it, and it looks like it's very worn, and it's supposed to be a power wrought blade, and so it shouldn't even need sharpening.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Yeah,
let
right.
alone be cleaned. Like
you're saying, yeah, it's showing a lot more wear than you would imagine that,
especially on the point.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I like, thank you, little stink, talking about Reese's theory. What if it's like death is a warm welcome? Yeah, in other words, maybe they've used it as it's not like a direct translation, but yes, it's somehow, you know, potentially talking about Lan and his relationship with the sword, if you will. So that's a possibility.
I just don't see how the Egomar Daishan fits.
Yeah, the fact that it actually has Egomar Daishan in there.
Like it seems odd to put somebody else's name on your sword.
It does. It's very odd.
Yes. Is there any way you think that this is Agomar's sword?
No, unless
stretch.
Yeah, unless Agomar was a blade master and he killed Agomar and took his sword, and they just totally went off track from the books. Okay,
so that's gonna be our poll here. You know, regarding whatever. So Lan's sword. Here we go. Lan's sword. Is it? We'll just say only an Easter egg. Only an Easter egg. You know, this is the sword. What do we call it? The sword of the Malkier kings. So the sword of Malkier, the Malkieri people. How should I say that, Matt? So the sword of the Malkieri people, is that
the ancestral sword of the Malkieri kings?
Okay,
it has a very epic ring to it.
Okay, here we go. Your options are: this is only an Easter egg, this is the sword of the Malkier Kings, or this is Algomar's sword. There we go. For those that are watching us, I'm kind of curious what you think this is. I know, again, we're kind of like, that image itself is one of the kind of most fun ones to speak about. Let me bring up this one here. I want to ask about this one, and then we can move on to some news from WoTSeries, and then I have to let you all go. So, Ruth, this last image of Moiraine, like we've seen a variety of these images. I'm assuming this is Emond's Field. Is there anything you noticed about this that you thought was kind of unique that we hadn't seen before when it comes to Moiraine?
So I kind of wondered the timeline of that first episode, because we know that Moiraine walks in to the Wine Spring Inn, and we assume it's on the trailer. When she walks in, we see her awesome boots. That's the first time we're seeing her.
Right.
So this, I'm wondering, like, when does everything go down at Emond's Field? Because this looks very nice. Doesn't look like there are things burning in the background.
Right.
So I'm wondering, is this like the morning after, and then, you know, everything goes down at night the following day? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about here. Like that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw this picture. Like, where does this fit?
I like that idea, and it makes sense that it is the morning after. I think that makes the most sense. The morning after that, like she's arrived, but before any kind of big, before winter night or Beltane, however you want to say, goes down. So, I definitely think that's true. And so it does seem like there's some time in Emond's Field where she's just out talking to people. I don't know who she's talking to right here. People brought this up that like this does have kind of an ageless face appearance. I know we've kind of gone back and forth in that discussion. I like this note that I saw, that band braid, whatever in her hair there, that blue. That's a fun little detail again that we haven't seen, that just kind of ties in, I guess. Although we have to kind of come on, just like we zoomed into the horse, right? Check that out. That's
beautiful detail.
That is some tooling on that thing. By the way, the answer to the question, 170 of you voted. The answer was, as far as the sword, only an Easter egg. 60% of you. Yeah, okay, I hear you. Joe, anything on Moiraine's costume here that you thought of interest, or just the scene itself, before we jump on to WoTSeries news?
Yeah, they're really playing up those shoulder pads.
Sure.
That's heavy detail right there. Wow.
Yeah, I assume this is Emond's Field as well. A note though about the scene in the trailer, and I don't know if it was you, Matt, or somebody else, but I remember watching somebody's breakdown of the trailer where they think that the scene of Moiraine coming in and throwing off her hood and then the boots are not even the same thing, because they compared the boots and they looked more like Lan's boots than they did like Moraine's boots.
Of course, that was me.
It was you. Okay. Yeah, I thought so, but I didn't want to, give the wrong person credit. So
I understand. Yeah.
That might not even be from Emond's Field, that shot of her walking in and throwing off her hood. That could be anywhere.
That's true. Yeah. And I think it's one of the theories was that was actually, Lan's boots. And so it was maybe Lan that you see enter, and then Moiraine. And that was kind of one of the theories too of how that might turn out. Okay, so for those of you that just kind of joined us here, you're kind of wondering what's going on. Let me show you. Prime Video dropped these 3 images. One of Lan here, which the script here is in Old Tongue, says something about a warm welcome to my heart. If something very much likely this phrase, or something very similar to it, where it's like, your welcome warms me, Lord Algomar. For some reason, that seems like to most people that is actually an Easter egg. And then we have the other image here with Rand and Egwene, which, let's be honest, beautiful horses here. Bella, for sure. And is that a tear in her left eye? I think you're talking about Egwene here. That does look like she's getting teary, for sure, in this picture. And then we have this image of Moiraine. We've seen a lot of variations of this one itself. But I kind of want to move on from here. We only have just about 5 or 10 minutes left of today's kind of news. And I think this is a great one, a huge scoop. Nice job, Geekieri and WoTSeries here. Let me try to zoom this out for you all so you can see that. Basically says that this is a new location that they talked about. They know that they're going to be shooting in this new location between October and November. And it's going to be, it looks like it's on a pretty large lot here. 25 days of prep and 5 days of filming. And the areas are going to be utilized the production is the rondel, the courtyard, fronting it, a variety of courtyards, green rooms. And so maybe go to you, Malkier's King. Where does this look like to you when it comes to a season 2 potential location shot? Do you have any thoughts?
No.
Nothing's coming to you. How about you, Ruth? Have you heard any theories on what this might be?
Not. I mean, I haven't heard anything. I'm just. What do we know about when Andor is coming into the picture? Looking at the castles and stuff like that, and that kind of architecture.
That's a good question.
I don't know if it's coming into the picture in season 2, but I don't know. I think castles, and that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, I think one of these that I just saw in chat, I think this is true. This could be Barthane's.
Yes, that is my theory.
Maybe this is suggestive we're actually going to get that scene. They're going to go to Kyrian, and we're going to get something. Yeah. I like that idea just because it seems like an obvious. If we're going to go to Kyrian, it says
the
here
middle picture looks like that. That third picture doesn't look. That third picture looks too round to be Kyrian. Kyrian was all square and boxy and all that, and that has a very rounded feel to it. So to me, I don't see that as Kyrian.
I want to pose a theory that Barthanes' manor maybe it's outside the city, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be in the city, but they also mentioned that there's filming they're going to be doing in the kitchen and in front of the kitchen area, which reminds me of when Matt hurts. Not to getting too far into it, but this when Matt's posing as Rand's servant, and they have to go to the kitchens because he hurts his ankle. Plus, there was also talks, I think in this article, it also talks about a extras casting for a violinist and a violin viola player and a contrabass flute professional to be part of the shoot. So that does kind of remind me of like a party maybe that's going on. So it totally, to me, it's Barthanes' manor. Okay.
Where is this? We'll throw this poll out for those of you who are in chat here with us on YouTube. If you're here and you're enjoying this, please do take a moment to jump over on YouTube. We'd love to have you here at the Dusty Wheel with us. Hit that like and subscribe. We'll keep doing this, and we'll be back again tonight and then on Friday. I like this as Barthane's manor. Talks about also another casting call for a nude body double for a slim woman with a nice figure, ideally with dark hair between 175 and 177 centimeters. This body double would be wearing artificial blood while shooting. And originally 2 days in August and 1 day in October. That's some more news in here. You should go check out. This link is in the description of this video. Go read this article. A ton of details we're not going to be able to cover quickly. Body double, nude body double, covered in blood. Ruth, any random theory? Season 2, new body double. What do you think?
I'll just throw this random theory out there. I can't remember her name. Tom's.
Oh, Dana.
Dana.
Yeah, that's.
Isn't it Dina?
Dina. Sorry, or yes. No, wait. Yes, Dina. Sorry. I think of Dana because that's the name of the individual that they brought into the show, right? So.
Right.
Okay, so
that's my. I don't know. That's my theory.
Yeah, I like that. I like that theory. I see somebody maybe Lanfear in a window, a Lanfear body double possibly. So I think Dina or Lanfear. People are bringing up that maybe this is the Foregate. Also, the previous kind of discussion we had. Since we only have a couple more minutes here, I'm going to end this poll. Kyrian is what won out with the 4 options: Kyrian, Caemlyn, Other, and Tyr. So. Yeah, really, really fun here. Let me see. Yeah, so this is a comment. Thank you very much, Bo Tiger, for this. Is it me, or does it actually look like someone somewhat ageless in this image? Yeah, there did. A lot of people commented on kind of the ageless nature of her face there. So yeah, appreciate that. And it's It actually says unblur this on Innkeeper as a message. That's not what it actually said. But yes, someday maybe. And last comment here from Little Stink Stink. She knows her face says she knows the secret. Yes, exactly. Okay. So I think that was like the majority of the news today. Did we miss anything that we brought up? Obviously, like I said, go check out WoTSeries article. We weren't able to cover that nearly. They found another spot that they're I think in Italy that they're filming. That one in itself, this whole article could be an entire show just discussing where these things might be. Anything else we missed on those images, or anything else that dropped recently or today? Malkier's King. Did we cover it all?
Mostly. I got a better look at Lan's Hadori than we've gotten in other shots because it was a more clear picture, a brighter picture, not in the midst of fire and smoke and all that. And I was interested that it's not braided. And the Hadori in the books, the Hadori is always described as braided, but they're free to do whatever they want. I'm not criticizing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
They didn't
braid it the way.
Interested observation is all that it is.
Yeah, this is one of the like I said, highest resolution shots we've had to date, or is the highest resolution shot. It almost, and I don't know if I'm probably seeing things here, but it almost looks like they gave him some gray in his hair. Maybe it's just the shot and the lighting. It very well could be.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised. He is described as having gray at his temples.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. It doesn't look like traditional braiding, but it could be, a style of braid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I'm not really into braiding, but you're right. It doesn't look like a traditional braid that we've all seen, but it looks like it could be woven into some sort of braid. I don't know. Anyone have braid expertise in the chat?
I have to look at this. I don't think that there's anything here, but yeah, that's hilarious. So yeah, they said, look at the reflection in his eyes. I don't know that. Yeah, exactly. There's some lighting from production. I don't know.
It's gonna
seem
be
like
naive.
There's a person. It looks like there's a person right there. Nice call for the last comment. I think that's a great final shot for the show right there. Okay, everyone, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, Prime Video, for giving us something to talk about here. I'm sure we're going to see some unraveling of these images come out from others. That image is pretty stunning here of Rand and Egwene. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, and of course, look at that horse. Maybe that's
ended on a beautiful horse face.
Yes. Look at that horse. That's a beautiful horse.
That horse is thinking something, and I want to know what it is.
Exactly. I do want to know that. There does seem to be a reflection there too, but we're not going to zoom on that. Okay, everybody. Thank you for being here. Just as a couple reminders, we are going to be back in just 20 minutes. You can find the link if we have any of our admins here on YouTube chat. We'll hopefully drop a link to that next episode. We're going to be talking with the Wheel Weaves podcast all about the fires of heaven. That's going to be a spoiler-free discussion of the fires of heaven, doing some reactions, predictions. That's always a lot of fun. We always have them back every time that Danny finishes a book. So it's time to break down the fires of heaven and the ending of a book that is one of my favorites and led to theorizing that basically never ended until almost 2011. So I can't wait to ask Danny about that. So, okay, that's it. Like I said, Friday, we are having our live coverage of New York Comic Con. Just as a couple reminders, maybe we should point that out. New York Comic Con is going to be pre-recorded. We think maybe it goes an hour. Amy Ratcliffe is the person interviewing. Rafe, Rosamund, Daniel, Yosha, Zoe, Madeline, and Marcus. So it doesn't seem like we're getting any live questions going on there. And it does seem like it's available, as far as we understand, to the public to watch the first time. And then when it's over, if you have the $20 digital pass, you can go back and watch that later. But I believe it is available. We're going to cover it live, give you the news, and then as soon as it's over, just break it all down on Friday. So be back here at the Dusty Wheel also. So thank you, Ruth, for showing up. I know it's a quick one. We'll have you back again. And Matt and Joe, as always, it's a pleasure to see you both. Okay. And we'll see you.
Pleasure's mine.
As we say around here, good night from the Dusty Wheel and smash to black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is one
really
of the
well.
biggest scenes.
And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
Sad.
not
I see
I like
Nakomi
that.
as something along the lines of a Shadow Haran analog. For
it does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Will Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Terrible, like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all
This
of
is
a
not
sudden,
just
it's like,
a
wow.
traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a
for
moment
those that are
ago,
kind of interesting.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guests in here with me. And
Probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,